All right, everybody, welcome back to the Golf Shop. Mark Greenhouse, Mike Frasina in studio, and this segment of the show is brought to you by Antigua, one of the nation's leading designers of golf apparel under the distinguished Antigua brand and the official apparel company of the Golf Shop radio show. Order online at shop.antigua.com, or apparently just come into the studio because you and I just got some phenomenal gear. We got some swag.
It was funny to walk in the room and you see it was easy to know who had ordered what. My stuff was all gray and black, and yours looked like Elton John's
like
closet
Easter.
Threw up. Yeah.
It's Easter. I mean, it's white belt. It's white belt stuff, Money Mark, isn't it?
Totally white belt stuff.
100% white belt.
At its best.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Joining us now, is she here yet? Is she back yet? She is back with us.
I'm here.
Oh, yay!
Alexandra Casi, Symetra Tour player. Alexandra, welcome into the Golf Shop.
Thanks for having me this morning.
So, talk to us about how the year's gone so far, and how excited are you going to be to come to Charlotte to play in Mike's event?
Oh, yeah, that's one of our favorite stops on tour. The course is always in great condition, and Mike always has the rock the putt, which is like no other contest we have all year. It's I think I've always said I'm more nervous to do that contest than actually do the tournament. But I'm going off to a bit of a slow start this year. I've been making, checks about every other tournament, but I just feel like my game is in a really good spot, but just haven't really broken through. Just kind of, just expectations have been getting in the way a little bit. I just need to be a little more patient with my game, and I'm really looking forward to. I think we're on the road 9 of the next 10 weeks, so trying to gear up for that.
Yes, so you're going to be, the frequent flyer miles or the lots of miles on the car or whatever you're driving, and lots of gas stations, right, coming up?
Yeah, we're in a old beat-up Buick. Her name is actually Betsy. She has about 220,000 miles on her. So we drive everywhere. I travel with my 2 dogs. So we never fly. So yeah,
wow.
Just living out of the car for the next 2 months.
I want to meet Betsy, and the dogs, I guess. I mean, I will see Betsy in the parking lot at Raintree. Hopefully, Betsy makes it to Raintree.
Yeah, she'll probably be the worst rust bucket in the parking lot, but doesn't matter.
So you feel like your game's in a good spot, but what are you working on? What's the breakthrough? I always ask if you have an hour to at the practice facility. How are you dividing your time?
Well, actually, I worked really hard on strengthening my grip over the winter because my grip was sort of weak, and even when I had the club coming into a good position with a weak grip, it was really hard to have a lot of lag or get into a good impact position. So I worked really hard on that and some club pass drills, and I really was swinging from the inside out, and then my grip, strengthened up. And normally all winter I was playing like this bullet draw. It was just like this tight little 8-yard, hook pattern shot, and then all of a sudden it kind of got out of hand, and I got really frustrated, but I had to look at it like, my grip got better, my club pass got better, so I swing really hard for most girls. I mean, I swing over 100 miles an hour, so that shot was just, I couldn't control it anymore. So actually, in these couple weeks off, we've had, I started actually going to a bullet cut, which I had that shot before, but it wasn't really my staple shot. So I really worked hard on making that my go-to shot with my driver. I actually quit hitting all the hooks with the driver. So I feel like that's putting me in a better place. If I have no left side to a golf course and I can just rely on that little bullet cut shot, and my irons have been really good. I've just been getting myself, just 1 or 2 holes around just with the driver isn't what's costing me. So I feel like working on that shot with the driver, and I feel like everything else is, irons are good, chipping and putting is good. So I'm just off the tee. I have something more reliable.
See, and I always thought, people always said, well, you can hit it farther hitting a draw than you can hit in a cut. If you hit that bullet cut, it goes just as far as any draw anybody can hit, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It goes a mile. I mean, you might get a little more run out maybe with with that little hook. But, when you get that smothered duck hook, that's not going to go too far.
The suffering duck.
On a hole, you're gonna have more yardage with the cut. And like I said, I've basically just been like hashtag no left side. Hashtag bullet cut. Hashtag golf was easy, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mental thing, though, because you look at a golf course, for 4 years or whatever, I'm hitting a hook right to left. Now all of a sudden I'm looking at the holes kind of backwards, and at first it's like, how can I hit a cut on this hole? But after a while you look, every hole could be a cut hole if you want it to be. So, if it's dogleg, right to left and I'm a little bit longer, just take out 3 wood or 5 wood, just make it fit because, I just can't be having these 2 and 3 holes around with a nasty hook.
All right, so if the pin's back left, can you still hit that little draw in there to it?
Oh, I do everything.
Okay.
I do everything else with the hook. With the driver, I had an addiction with growing up. My dad was always fascinated with a little draw, like, when I would play, that's what I played when I was younger, but my teacher didn't give me correct fundamentals, so I used to line up closed, and it was basically like a pull hook. So obviously I fixed my alignment, and I can hit a proper hook now, but everything else I hit, basically my staple shot was like 3 wood off the tee would be a bullet hook. But, irons I work, I have 9 different shots. It's just basically like low, mid, and high, and that's all, like hook, cut, and straight. So, with the irons, I do whatever I want with them. But with the driver, no more hooks.
Well, we're on with Symetra Tour player Alexandra Casi, and I want to know, as you look at the courses coming up, you've got this, of course, I'm most familiar with the Little Carolina Swing with Greenwood and Asheville, and then our event here in Charlotte. And I know the players, they view the North Course at Charlotte as being very tight and maybe isn't necessarily, because it's residential, it's not necessarily a driving course for you guys. Is this going to come into play, your new tee box approach? Is it going to come into play when you get to Raintree?
Well, actually, the next 2 courses, Sarasota, is pretty open. It's tree lined, but the last couple of weeks we've been playing pretty short, really, I call them like TP golf courses, short and just nowhere for somebody that has any left off the tee to do much with. But Sarasota is a Donald Ross course, which I love. I'm from Ohio. I grew up on Donald Ross courses. The greens, it rewards a good iron player, but at the same time, you can hit good iron shots into those greens and not get rewarded because they're basically all upside down bowls. And so, I feel like my chipping and putting is very good too. So, I don't know anything about the Fort Myers course. That's a new venue for us. But coming up to the Carolinas, the Charlotte course, it is a little tight in spots. But there's a lot of cut holes out there. Thinking right now off the top of my head. So I feel like that shot. Yeah, I've been in the woods a lot there. So I feel like the shot that I'll be bringing into there will be much more reliable. So I love that. I love that golf course. The greens are always great there, and I feel like it's a great place for me to score well, so I'm looking forward to coming back.
So why so much pressure during Rock the Putt?
Well, let me explain before she answers that. We developed an event at the tournament called Rock the Putt, which is we take 8, or now this year it's going to be 16 Symetra Tour pros and face them off against a group of local amateurs in a putting competition. But I wanted to test the notion that golf is best played in silence. My life is more collision than precision, and I always thought it was a little stupid that guys are, expected to hit foul shots or, stand at the plate with a full count and people are yelling stuff about God knows what. But in golf, we have to be completely silent. So I decided to bring in a live band, a beer garden, and a kind of a rowdy crowd and do a putting competition where the players have to contend with not only the music and the fans and the beer and the surroundings, but these music-themed obstacles. And last year, Alexandra was one of the players selected to compete, and coming out of it said she was more nervous putting in Rock the Putt than she was in tournament play. So now getting back to Greenie's question, why so nervous in Rock the Putt?
Yeah, I think for one, I was surprised for 2 years the turnout there is spectacular. The whole green is surrounded by so many people. So for one, you've got more people than we usually have watching. And for 2, we're going against the men in the first part of the competition. So I grew up with 2 older brothers, so I kind of, I get a little nervous because I want to probably beat the men a little bit more than I want to beat the girls. And then there's some money on the line. So I guess those 3 things are what makes it a little. Obviously, we have money on the line during the tournament, but it's a little extra cash because I never have enough. So
That's
guess
right.
I put a little more pressure on myself.
Betsy needs a new pair of shoes, right?
Right.
Betsy's got to eat. Betsy's got to eat. Yeah, it's a fun thing, and we love how well it's been received by the players on tour. I mean, they say it's one of the most popular events that the players can sign up to be potentially selected for. So it's a good thing, and that'll be Wednesday night in the middle of our tournament week, which is 19th through 24th, and it's out at Raintree. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, hopefully I get selected again this year.
You veteran.
I don't know. I know the tournament director, so I'll put in a good word for you.
Well,
All right, sounds good.
I will tell you, the competition against the local lambs, and particularly the men, the first year, everyone was so upset that one of the men, who happens to be the club president at Raintree, won. Everyone thought that was kind of awful. Now, he did give the money to the players who finished second and third. But last year, everyone was really excited to have a tour. In fact, after the first round, there were no more AMs.
Right.
It was all tournament players, and that was ideal.
I think Mike needs to just ban the Raintree members from putting on that green for a week, so there's no pregame warm-up for that.
Yeah, between that and them wanting to know where the holes in one will be for the Pro-Am so they can get out and hit them, these people, they just, a little too
Yeah,
competitive.
they're pretty serious.
Yeah. By the way, too, Alexandra, I want to remind you, too, that, when you're on the Golf Shop Radio show, it just happens.
Yeah, the bump.
There's a Golf Shop Radio bump. And, for instance, we had Kendall Dye on, and the week after she won. So I'm just throwing it out there. There's good mojo coming your way.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm expecting some great finishes coming up, so I just need to stay positive and stay patient.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you hopping on with us this morning, and we will see you when you roll into town for the Charlotte event.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Look
thanks a
forward
lot.
to it.
All right, that's
Thank you.
Alexandra Casi, Symetra Tour player. And by the way, lpgacharlotte.com to go out, sign up.
Yeah, Pro-Am, volunteer, all
anything
the
you want.
information you need. What a tactician. She's the first player from the tour we've had on that was really technical about the things she was trying to change about her game. That was pretty impressive.
I like the bullet cut.
I know. I like the bullet cut.
That's a shot that I've tried to hit for a long, long time. I used to hit a draw growing up, and I tried to go hit the bullet cut. I always, it gets you in less trouble, I think. But
is that similar to the duck hook? I use a duck hook.
No.
Okay.
No. The suffering duck hook that I called it earlier.
And she's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
That's
Well, he is too. That's the only shot he has.
No, I'll be interested to see how it sets up for her. Now I'm really going to be watching her off the tee.
That's like the money mark. Hey, when I go to the range before a round, and you hit 15 or 20 warm-up balls with like a 9-iron like I do, you'll generally hear me say, well, it's a good thing I've got the push fade going with the 9-iron today or the pull draw. So, there's a shot for everybody. You just got to work on it. You got to work hard.
Own it.
Yeah.